And I'm going to hit record on this thing.
Recording in progress.
Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to the Board of Assessors meeting of today, January 6th, 2026. We are at the Ritter Building, lower level. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised this meeting is being recorded and broadcast, probably not live, over the Lunenburg Public Access channel on Facebook Live on the Public Access Facebook page, which is https://www.facebook.com/lunenburg-public-access-cable-157-427-270-975-305/. The recording can be found at the Lunenburg Access YouTube channel after the meeting, most likely tomorrow. This meeting will be held in person at this location, as I mentioned, the Ritter Building. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation has been provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast, unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with particular interest in a specific item in this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. For remote participation from a computer, please use the link that I'll read off to you to join the public meeting webinar. That link is the Zoom meeting, https://us02web.zoom.us/j/3020039690. The meeting ID is again 302-003-9690. From a telephone, dial the toll-free number 888-475-4499 and enter the webinar ID that I just mentioned, which I'll give it to you one more time, 302-003-9690, followed by the pound sign. Additionally, please be advised that the town of Lunenburg utilizes the Zoom platform as its host for hybrid and remote meetings, that the Zoom platform utilizes AI technology known as AI Companion to create audio transcriptions of the meetings to aid in the subsequent preparation of meeting minutes, and that AI Companion is activated immediately upon launching Zoom application. You are hereby notified that this AI technology may capture audio prior to the start of the meeting and or following the conclusion of the meeting. If you have not registered for Zoom, you'll be asked for your name and an email address. No participant ID is needed. Just press the pound sign when asked. Telephone users may dial *9 to request to speak after joining the meeting. Computer and app users may use the raise hand feature to request to speak. See, I have a little acting going on here. The agenda lists all topics which may be discussed at the meeting and those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken as a result of these discussions. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by open meeting law. I'll call us to order. It's about 6:35. We should introduce ourselves. I'm Brian LaFond.
I'm Linda Chaika.
Brian Marple.
Thank you. Opening comments. Are there any comments from the board? You mentioned that you've made great progress on accomplishing your modules.
Yes, on my training modules, yes, I've made it through 7 of them so far, up through property tax abatements. I have 3 to go: tax exemptions, property, personal property, and motor vehicle excise. And that'll be it.
Just for those out there in the public, there are a total of 10 training modules, I think, 2 of which have to be completed before a new member can vote on items having to do with abatements, tax rates, etc. You have accomplished those, so we now have a quorum. Thank you.
Yay. But I'm not into exemptions yet.
Well, you know, you'll get,
You've made some.
that's coming up. Right now, I'm glad we're focused on abatements, because that's the first thing that'll be coming up.
Yes.
Hopefully not too many. I have no comment. I think we'll go right into the status report from the principal assessor. We have a line on this agenda that was from the last agenda, that was a joint meeting. We are not holding a joint meeting today.
Oh,
Just so, anybody who's
Yeah.
following the
missed
agenda,
that,
please ignore that item.
okay.
Update on tax billing, munis, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And did you just give me a?
Oh,
You
yes,
did.
your monthly report.
Okay. Fire.
So I will go through the monthly report. We had 11 abutters lists for the month of December. Motor vehicle excise tax abatements, we had 27 within the past month. They've all been processed and awaiting payment by the tax collector. As far as the tax recap and the tax rate is $14.39 per thousand for fiscal 2026, and that was certified by the Bureau of Accounts on December 4th of 2025.
That's 3 cents more than last year.
Yes. Yeah, and the tax billing file was sent to our bill print company, which is Kelly and Ryan, on December 19th. The bills were officially sent out on December 29th. And Randy Mercier and myself will be connecting in January to discuss the personal property bridge, which still hasn't been corrected. And we also had an exemption duplication issues in Munis from when we sent over the file from our camera system. So we've got some work to do still.
Yep. The personal property bridge, as way of explanation, is part of the communication process between our camera system and our financial system.
Yes, that's correct. And
It's-
when it goes over into the system, we've had some errors and we have to use Fall Rivers Bridge to get our tax bills,
To work.
or to get our camera system to integrate properly with our financial system.
And that's actually the second year running that we've had that same problem.
Yeah.
We've been unable to fix it, but hopefully we'll get it fixed this year.
It's actually, we're waiting on Munis at this point.
It just
That's-
requires us to do a lot more manual stuff.
It does. And we did do that. We actually, we would like to put our real estate exemptions into Vision.
Right.
For tracking, it would be a nice feature to have that in our property record cards. And in addition to that, we do have an Excel spreadsheet, but it would make the whole process easier because we have to process 112 of these and enter them in. And what happened was with the whole issues that we're having, the exemption amounts doubled on some of the properties. So we have to go in and delete them all and enter them manually,
Correct.
which is cumbersome, but we've done it 2 years in a row like that, so.
So the bridge is not a block to progress, but it certainly slows progress down.
Right, yeah,
Thank you.
so, yeah. But at least the bills went out on time and we were able to
I have mine.
get everything.
Gee, thanks.
You haven't told the baby yet. The assessing assistant had processed the warrants and commitments, which I have for you to sign tonight. And for the actual billing, the warrant for the real estate is $17,429,871.19. And the personal property warrant is
That's
500.
that's 17 million.
Not 17 billion, it's only 17 million.
Just a quick correction.
17 million, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's- I've been here
There's so
since-
many commas.
I've been here since 8 o'clock, so I'm looking at numbers. And
Unless this is a typo, which I don't think it is.
let me get my sheet. Let me get my sheet for a long day. Yeah, it is.
17 million, yep.
That's correct. And the personal property is $561,340.25.
Yep.
So, we have already started preparing for FY 2027. We rolled over our database, and we are already starting on our next project, which we identified 358 land condition adjustments that we need to research, inspect, and this is part of the DOR directive.
Confirm or correct?
Confirmed are correct.
Yep, good.
We have comments in our camera system, some of them don't really make sense, why they're there, but we will be sending out letters to these residents that have these land condition factors, trying to set up inspections and determine how many, some of them are valid.
Yep.
And some of them aren't, but.
Just a way of explanation for both folks online and for you, Brian. We have to freeze the system at a certain point in time so that none of the data changes while we're going through the process of creating the bills. Then, once all that is done and we are happy that we're satisfied that the bills, we're never happy the bills are going out. We're satisfied that the bills are correct, we then can unfreeze the system and allow changes to occur again. So we have to build them up for a better part of a month.
Yeah, it actually was in October. So we kind of have to freeze
2
what
months.
we're doing. We can't enter in any changes. Once we submit our values to the Department of Revenue and get approved, we can't change anything.
Right.
So we try to explain
Makes
this
sense.
to homeowners when they come in, because sometimes they get frustrated that we can't make changes, but our numbers have to match. Our camera has to match our financial system, so this is why we have to hold off. And now we're at the point now where I did a lot split today, and we're making all the changes that we made that we couldn't enter, we're entering them in now, so.
So like a pig and a snake,
Yeah.
we have this pile of stuff that now needs to be done because it's been building up for 3 months,
Yeah,
2.5 months.
so.
So,
And
anyway, sorry to interrupt. I just want to make
No.
sure that we are as open as possible.
Good explanation, because a lot of people don't understand that, it's just what we have to do. But I have to commend Vision, they have been great to deal with, and when I was away for 3 days, they actually did what they call static. So we freeze fiscal 2026, and they actually rolled it over and created 2027, and I just had to go and update the future owners, so.
Yep.
They did that for me without even asking, so it was great. And we are trying to also finalize our map updates.
Right.
And that's the next thing. I'm making some changes that I couldn't make with lots. And once those are done, I will produce a extract so that our vision file will match our GIS as far as addresses and all that. So we do that once a year, and then what happens is they create the maps, create that, and then they'll create our updated vision PDF of our new values. So unfortunately, we only have a PDF that updates yearly on our CAI database,
See it as the mapping.
is our mapping, yeah. So we're hoping when we upgrade to a new mapping system, it'll almost be instantaneous, that people will be able to see their record card changes. Right now, it updates once a year, and if they want to see the changes, they can call the office. And we have a live version, but that doesn't update instantaneously, unfortunately. So we're hoping to get to that point.
So for anyone that hasn't read all the minutes of the last 6 months, we're investigating another mapping company or another mapping approach. And it could be any number of companies, but we've investigated like 3 so far, I think, 2 or 3. And not that we're dissatisfied with CAI, but there are some limitations to what they can do today, based upon the software that they've sold us. They may have some more capabilities as well, so.
Our biggest challenge is that, as you know, I'm going on 2 years being in this position as of March, but we've had quite a few maps that haven't been updated, and it's kind of an ongoing effort. So there's been quite a bit of work with CAI. We have deeds that come in, and that's kind of how we find out, other than homeowner coming in and telling us that.
Hey,
isn't
my
there-
map's wrong.
And as
Well, that is kind of like the last line of defense.
yeah.
The homeowner goes, hey, this is a problem. You go, oh, yeah, you're right, we'll fix it.
Yeah. And as I mentioned, I had one today that I came across that was a lot split from 2022 that wasn't done.
Didn't get captured.
So I captured that in. So there's a lot of research on even our part. We have to pull a plan. It's very cumbersome. And sometimes we're not engineers, so it can be difficult to interpret some of these plans and deeds because the attorneys oftentimes copy, instead of putting the new data in, they copy an old deed, and that always isn't correct, so
And
it's,
add on to it.
it's
So
very difficult sometimes.
problems are multiplied or
Yeah.
perpetuated, I guess is the right answer.
But
So I'm surprised map updates wasn't on your goals.
I know.
I think it is.
I actually wrote this before. But that's something that the past 2 days of
Yep.
working aggressively on that.
Cool.
So we're also hoping to start this neighborhood directive very soon. I've had a couple of homeowners come in and complain, and because of the neighborhoods, and we're hoping to get to that. At this point, we have to post what's called the special assistant to the assessor position. We have to post the position. I wrote a job description for Julie, and I'm hoping within the next 3 weeks or a month, we can get started on it, because we don't have that much.
It's unfortunate we had to wait that long, but
Yeah.
yes.
So, we're hoping, because.
We know of at least one person who will probably be applying who is very qualified, so
Yeah,
there may be more. But we know of at least one, so.
yeah. So, we are hoping to start this fairly soon, because it's just gonna make things, we need to get it done. It's been
Yep.
too long. Yeah.
It's a requirement from the state.
Yeah. So, that's essentially an update as far as goals for next month. We're working on we've had 3 abatements to date, all real estate, and we're gonna hopefully start the inspections and that whole process. And I also plan to work with Randy Mercier, our munis consultant, to resolve the exemption and bridging issues in munis.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep, that's it.
The next item on the agenda is review minutes that are completed. I prefer to hold off on that until Sarah's here, because she sat through most of the meetings, and I have a couple of them prepared. I sent them over the late
Yeah,
last night.
I saw them.
And we'll have more for the next time, and hopefully, when our other member is no longer ill, we'll be able to make some progress on getting those posted.
Do you want to hold up on
Approved
the
and posted.
executive session too?
We probably should just hold off on all of them, rather, it's a little bit confusing. There was on the one of the ones that I sent over, which was September 3rd, I had a question on a number, and when I looked back at the minutes, looked back at the video of the meeting, those were the numbers that we used. We said in total there were 33 functional, 14 of which were residential, 8 were commercial, and 1 was a town building. That's only 23, so I don't know whether the other 10 are, or was this 10
Oh,
that had already been done that you no longer counted?
yeah, I think that's what it is.
Okay,
Yep,
as long as I understand that, I can fix that.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand, and thank you, that's a
Yeah.
big help. Okay, so we're going to move past those and go to the assessor website change. Have you had an opportunity to look at the draft of the assessor website? Because I have gone through it. It's been available to us now for several months with not very many changes proposed. So I figured I'd make sure and go through it in detail, and if I can find a little piece of paper, I'll be far ahead of the game. Oh, so this is a layout of what the left-hand side of the thing looks like. It includes parcel maps. I had no trouble with a couple of them. The first one I had a problem with was on the assessed values. We have 3 years, and they're comparison years, so there's really 4 years. But the format on the newest one is different than the format on the other two, so if you were to try to compare, if any citizen, taxpayer, were trying to compare, they wouldn't be able to compare. So we need to be consistent on whatever the format is. I don't know if we can go back and regenerate the old report
Yeah.
in the new format. I think the most likely answer is to generate the new data in the old format. So that's just, it's inconsistent, and I think for readability, it makes sense to have them be consistent. Under the chapter land, there's a pointer to the current chapter information that is UMass, and when you bring it up, it says page not found,
Oh, okay.
which is a problem.
That's the link, yeah.
Well, it says page not found, but there's a whole bunch of links on that page too, so I don't
Sure.
understand. It says page not found, and then there's a bunch of stuff with it. It's like, I think that's the stuff we're looking for. It just says page not found. It's
Okay.
odd.
That's weird.
Wow.
You know,
Having been a software engineer and worked in web development, etc., page not found could be simply referring to a little bit that goes into the current page.
right. But when our citizens start going in there, if they go page not found, I think there may be some questions. So we need to look at it and see what we can do about getting it fixed. All the way down to motor vehicle excise. On the first page of that is info, and at one point it says Lunenburg, but at another point it says if it's not, if the car is no longer garaged in air. I'm thinking maybe there was some stealing going on. I don't mean stealing cars.
Is that A-I-R?
No, A-Y-E-R.
I
was
took
like,
that,
huh,
I was in air, so I took that
wonder where that
from
came
my
from.
website, so we'll change that.
Yeah, oh dear.
We all do, our assessors, we all take our stuff that we work on, which is kind of nice if we.
Yeah, oh no,
you know,
I think you guys,
As a reference.
as a community, you guys share a lot
We do.
between each other, so I think that's fabulous,
Yeah.
because there's a hell of a lot more expertise out there than us.
Just needs to be the right
Just
town.
us. Right, yeah, it says air, let's take that one out of there. On the one that says parcel maps,
Yep.
it's very difficult to read. There's a cover, and that's okay, I can read the cover, and then there's a legend, and when I print off the legend, I get that, which is a blank legend page.
Oh, no, okay.
And then there are, I think, 70 other maps all over the place under there, and I can't tell where any of them are because it's very difficult to read.
Okay.
I don't know where that one came from, by the way.
Hmm.
It says parcel maps, and it just doesn't.
I think it should be linking to our GIS.
I think it's linked to the
And
wrong
not have
place,
all that.
honestly.
Yeah.
But, so,
Maybe.
under personal, next one's personal property. Personal property, it has the forms of list, which I think is great, because that's personal property.
Mhm.
It also has the real estate abatement form there.
Okay.
I'm not sure it belongs there.
Well, you.
I get it, it's the same form.
Yeah.
But I honestly, as I went through this, the thinking here was, maybe we should have all exemptions and abatements in one place here as a sort of a header. It's not. I know, there is. We'll get there.
Oh, it's for, yeah.
Well, it says real estate abatement, but
Yeah.
if we put, and that's not exemptions. So
Right.
I'd really suggest we put exemptions and abatements sort of together
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means as far as what it looks like. And I don't want to predefine it. Under,
Well, even if we do personal property in the real estate abatement, maybe we put that together, because exemptions isn't abatements. That
correct,
confuse people.
correct. Oh, but if you're looking to get some money back, you're going to probably look at exemptions and abatements.
Yeah,
Some people don't know the difference,
yeah.
or can't articulate the difference. But
Right.
they know they want to get some money back, so it just might make it more readable. And that's just a suggestion for something, for whatever. The senior tax exemption presentation
Mhm.
is great. There's let's see. Oh. So this is the real estate exemption. So we talked about maybe putting those together. We have the senior tax exemption, and then we have, later on, we have the senior tax work-off thing. I was wondering if maybe we should put senior things together too.
Yeah,
Just a thought. I really like the design. Maybe it's just, you know, how we aggregate stuff. The one that says tax rates. And by the way, registry of deeds, that was all fine. That was great. Tax rates, it brings you to the gateway for the state, but it defaults to 2024, not 2025.
yeah,
There were like 3 different choices. One was tax rate, one was recap, one was levy. And maybe we should put something on our page that says, remember to choose your year. Rather than trying to fix the other end,
yeah.
just maybe say something like, try to choose your year. Having said that, I could choose 2024, I couldn't choose 2025. When I first brought the tax rate one up, it came up as 2026, and I'm not sure we're there
Oh,
yet.
no. Well,
So-
maybe we should have our
But
list.
the second time I went back to it, it defaulted to 2024. So that one needs a little bit of finesse.
Okay,
But the rest of it looks great, so it sounded like I made a lot of changes. I didn't really make a lot of changes. A couple suggestions: senior stuff to go together, abatement and probably exemption stuff together. I think that would make the whole thing way more readable. The parcel maps is kind of a mess, so we need to fix up where we point that, and then the stuff that we point back to the state. We ought to give a little explanation somewhere.
yeah.
Other than that, great,
That's fine. Okay, good.
great. I'm so happy.
We're making headway. We'll,
So if you want to leave this, you don't read this.
we'll, sit down with Kara. I know Robin's been working with her, and she did ask me for an update today. I said we're meeting tonight, so hopefully.
So you mentioned Kara, I'm gonna go off script altogether. Something we mentioned quite some time ago is we have an agenda page that also has minutes, so it has dates on it.
Mhm.
But if you want to try to get to a video, you then have to go over to the YouTube, and in order to get to a specific date video, you have to scroll down to, oh my God, forever,
Yeah.
6 months of stuff before you get to the one you want, if it's in the past. I'd love to have some way to point the video, have a pointer to the video for that date, and just click on it. Because that'd make
Copy the URL.
that'd make the whole page, here's what's been going on.
Yeah.
So that's it, off this topic, but sort of
Still part.
related.
Right, okay. I'll ask her.
And when you peel her off the ceiling, because she's gonna go, how am I supposed to do that? And I get it, I don't know. I think maybe it's as simple as a URL, but I don't know that.
Copy, Control C,
I know,
and then paste, Control V.
I know. So, thank you. I got that one. Okay, good. So that's all I have to say about the website.
Okay, good. No, I'm really thankful that you looked at it, because we do want to.
Well, I'd like to close it, and we've just been so busy as we headed up to the end of the year to getting the tax bills out, and our inability to meet because didn't have enough members. We would have not been able to meet tonight if Brian hadn't put his hand in the air recently and said,
Yeah.
I can help. And you know what? You can.
Yeah.
I am very glad that I can.
So, yeah, good. I think the next item we've moved on to the list is the FY '27 overlay and growth estimates. So I'm gonna let you lead the conversation
Okay.
first.
So, thank you, by the way, for your input on some of the emails you.
Last night I did a little bit of research
Yeah.
on the history of our overlay situation with the state, just taking the state numbers directly. So this way, Linda, who's busier than a one-armed paper hanger, doesn't have to go do that research.
So Jen had asked for our growth estimate. The past 2 years, we've estimated 400,000
Right.
for new growth. I think we should keep it the same, just because,
We don't know anything new.
no, we don't know anything new. And Brian Gingras did comment on a couple of some projects coming up that,
Well, you commented on one that might actually be hitting next year.
yeah,
Not huge.
right.
And then the rest of it is just the normal residential and commercial improvements. So I wouldn't expect that our growth would be any higher than it has been. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if our growth was lower. Now, having said that, our growth this year was 532,
Or 518.
whatever, yeah, 518. Oh, you got it right there.
And then
Oh, yeah, she put together a whole analysis.
Well, I tried to copy everything so we could discuss it. So in '25, it was 527, but in '24, it was 630,000, and that was for a lot of properties that weren't picked up. So, I mean, I tend to be more conservative. I would stick with the 400 just because we don't know. It does appear that things might be,
We should be somewhat conservative, because you don't want to put in an estimate that's too high and find out that we come in short of it.
We're not building another Amazon shipping site like we did down there.
Is that what that is?
Shirley Road.
yeah.
It's obvious that it was intended to be.
Well, that was what it intended to be, yep.
It never did.
I don't
No,
know what's gonna happen.
Amazon stayed in Littleton.
yeah. And I think that we haven't had any new.
But I got my new phone case in one day, so I'm okay. So, I think I would entertain a motion to maintain 400,000 as our projected new growth for this year.
I don't see any argument
All right.
against that.
I'll make that motion. You can second it if you so choose.
Second.
And then any further discussion? I have none. Hearing none. All in favor?
Yo.
Okay. The two Brians said 400,000. We're going with what you suggested because nobody knows any more than you do about that.
You all know far more than me
Well,
on the details.
probably not for long.
Conceptual things.
Right. Okay, so that's
That's at least growth. Now the overlay. So the overlay,
do you have anything to hand out that Brian could
I
see?
do. I actually, well, I have to have you sign this for Mylene. This is all of our
Well,
exemptions.
We'll do that.
It was kind of part of the overlay, because these are overlay. You want to wait till after?
But you know how much that is.
Yeah,
So, okay.
okay.
We're talking about the overlay for next year
Yeah.
projected, and then we can talk about those
Yeah.
things that need to be signed for this
Okay.
year. Well, we could have done them out of order, but we went to this, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. So we estimated a budgeted for 175,000 for this
For
year.
this year.
Overlay. And, let me find the email, but again, our 5-year history was a little skewed by what happened in 2023
2022.
or 2022.
I think it's just 2022, right?
So
Oh,
this
it's not
is
there.
gross.
It's the other thing.
Yeah,
Where it
let's
is.
see.
What happened in 2022?
Oh,
All
it's
the
actually
abatements for all the
23.
lake folks,
Yeah,
we had to actually transfer in $1.3 million to our overlay account so that we could pay for the abatements that needed to be done. And they needed to be done, so.
we had 422 abatements. And it was actually fiscal 2023
Most years, well,
and 2022.
it was the 22 tax, but
Yeah.
yes. Most years we get somewhere around 40, 35 to 40.
Yeah,
And that year we got 10 times more, or 11 times more.
right.
Does
So
it have
it-
something to do with the perceived increase in the taxes for the people living around the lake?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And it was not just perceived, I mean, they got a really huge hit that one year. And I won't go into that anymore. Other than.
There was conversation
It was-
I heard.
it was a
on the street at the
fiasco.
time.
And it cost the town $1.3 million.
Wow.
Because No one else's taxes went up that year, so we had to take it from somewhere.
Right.
So 1.3 million was transferred into the overlay, and we wound up spending pretty much all 1.3 million of it. We had a little bit extra, so we still have a savings account in the overlay. Historically, overlays were done year to year to year to year, and if you had money left in an overlay from the prior year, you could then try to transfer it out. The state changed their methodology a couple of years ago, and so now we have one overlay account. But so we're trying to, so we have some monies that have been not expended yet and are still in that account, so we have a little bit of a buffer. And we have a history of what we've done for those, I'll call them normal years. And that was what,
145.
Yeah, 145, 150, somewhere in
Yeah.
there. Having said that, since everything's more expensive, abatements are gonna probably move up over time anyway. And then we opened up the criteria, loosened the criteria for people who might access some of the exemptions. Several of them, that's actually one of the things we've been fixing since we got here. So that should mean that we'll be spending more out of the overlay for that. And then the legislation was passed a year ago, right? That for the senior means tested tax exemption. Last year, we only had 6 applicants who qualified. We think there's a lot more people out there that can apply and will actually utilize that. So I left it up to Linda, with all her expertise, to come up with some kind of idea of how many people we might expect, and assuming that the amount of money is going to be about the same, probably a little more, but no.
I do think 175 is too low, because,
So let's just talk about the senior means tested piece, because that's, the 175 is probably tight with normal growth and with the stuff that we've done. And then we have the senior means tested stuff that's on top of it. So I just wanted to finish the conversation on senior means tested, so.
yeah, we had a total this year of $16,380 of exemptions for the senior needs, which
Yep.
consisted of 3 residents.
6 applications.
6 applications that we had. 8 people applied, 6 were.
6 were approved.
6 were approved. So we did do a presentation at the senior center. There wasn't a very large window for the application process because we had to get this together last minute. So maybe we'll have more applicants this year.
Oh, I would expect more, I just don't know.
Yeah.
Is it a factor or magnitude of some kind? Is it 3 times, 4 times?
I don't know if it's gonna be a
5 times?
magnitude, but the biggest criteria for that is people have to have received the circuit breaker.
Right.
On their tax return. So if they haven't received the circuit breaker, they're not gonna qualify for that exemption.
The circuit breaker?
Circuit breaker.
That's income tax related,
Yeah.
which you don't qualify for. I don't qualify for, but a lot of people do if they have a lower income, especially,
Yeah.
and a fairly low asset base. They can qualify for a circuit breaker, which actually results in a larger tax refund for them, and it's sizable meaning more than a couple $1,000.
Yeah.
So those people who have applied for that can now apply for this. If they haven't applied for it, or they haven't been granted it, then they can't apply for this. We don't know how many people have circuit breaker in town, so it's a guess.
Yeah.
Actually, last year I expected we'd get 10 or more. We got 8 applicants, six of whom were qualified. I don't know. Do you think 25? I mean, I'm just throwing numbers out,
Yeah.
looking for,
It's
have you heard any
difficult.
talk?
I haven't heard any talk. I know we've tried to create awareness because a lot of people aren't familiar with what the circuit breaker is. And
That includes me.
we do not handle the circuit breaker in our office, it's done by a tax preparer, so the tax, at the time when they have their taxes done, they should inquire. And there's income limitations, I believe it's 70,000 if you're single,
Ish.
90 something if you're married, and
But the circuit breaker limit is for whatever the single one is.
right,
So that's
for the means.
72,000, I think it was last year or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yes. So it's, I mean, it's
I mean,
not-
I said you don't qualify. Actually, you might. I don't have any idea, but I don't.
Yeah, I mean, social security and
Whatever.
$40,000
yeah,
job working at a school,
yeah,
Yep.
that's it.
yeah. Somebody, I mean, 'cause that is actually I mean, it's not low income, the circuit breaker levels.
It's not,
Really
well,
not.
it's,
It's-
I wouldn't call it income, I'd call it payment for having to put in the money for.
right.
Right.
But as far as
Career.
the income statement and for your tax
Yeah.
purposes, it's considered income.
Yeah,
So that's why we use that
No,
phrase.
I
But
get
you're right, it's
that.
not,
I get that.
it's not like it's a, yeah. You're
it's not
going
like
on
it's
trips.
20,000.
You're not going,
Like the-
right.
or some of our
Well,
exemptions.
and actually, one of our, was it a deferral? No, it was
41A,
it was for the deferral.
yeah,
The income limit was 20,000. It was that way for decades
Mhm.
until we discovered that it was 20,000, so we've now fixed it. But, you know, those are the things that we've been fixing at town meetings for the last 2 years.
That's good to know.
So the question becomes one of, you know, how many do we really expect? If we're gonna do something that looks like $2,700 or $2,800 per person or per applicant, and how many applicants might we have? So what is our exposure? And, you know, could it be 25? I don't know. I'm just looking to you to give,
It might be, I mean, last year, like I said, we had 8. We,
8 applicants.
8 applicants that applied. We might have more people that may not have been aware. Again, I did try to notify the senior center. We had like a little checklist and all that to
Yep.
try to notify people of it.
Yep.
So maybe we double it to 16 as an estimate. I don't think we're gonna have 100.
Oh, I don't, we
Definitely.
could. I don't think we
I
will.
mean,
I agree with you.
but we didn't.
And some
have-
people don't want to expose their income
Yeah,
to, you know, and basically they have to, otherwise we can't prove that they don't have enough income and are then qualified for this tax break, property tax break. So, I don't know, you said 16, would you be comfortable with 20? Just because I'm a little
Yeah.
concerned that if we undershoot this guy, we are
yeah.
in trouble.
So if we do 20.
And
it's
assuming that
27.30.
it's something like the 730, maybe it's 2750 this year, I don't know.
We'll
Pick a
do
number.
that times 20, so that's 55,000.
And that's on top of what we think might be tight at the 175.
Right.
So that gives you
So that's,
230.
that's an additional 38,000 more if we had 20. The other thing is, we added COLA, so, and as I mentioned, when I ran this report today, and I did verify it with our fill-in finance director, just for our exemptions, so far is 166,000.
Which seems high, but okay.
But this
And
is everything
if we
that-
do abatements, I don't know what portion of our overlay went to exemptions last year versus abatements. I don't know how to tell that. I guess we must have that somewhere.
I do have those numbers, but we don't even know how many abatements we're gonna have.
No, well, and that's why they're looking to us to guess.
So if we go by last year, we had 37. As far as the amount that we had.
Now, these are abatement applications or these
Approvals.
successful approved?
Approvals.
These are approved.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have, the board would approve the abatements, so,
So the number that she quoted was the number that we approved. A failed application is doesn't mean anything to this process. We don't have to put money aside for it because it's a failed application, or denied. I shouldn't say failed.
And we don't know what those amounts are gonna be because it depends on a lot of,
And a denied application, the next step for anybody is the ATB. I don't think we have any outstanding ATB cases today.
no.
We kept discovering them over the past 2 years, and in the summer, I think we wrapped up the last one, or was it in the spring? But anyway, we had no outstanding ATB cases, so that means that people who were denied felt they were treated fairly, or didn't feel like that they needed to follow up, and they probably didn't feel treated fairly. But they didn't feel that they had a good enough case to follow up. But we do get ATB cases every now and then. So those all come out of a overlay. So ATB comes out of overlay. That's the appellate tax board, for those of you who are watching. Abatements come out of there. Exemptions come out of there. And the senior means tested thing we really need to talk about, because we allowed it to come out of there last year. It shouldn't, but we may need to do that again because we just don't have a methodology or process to what's it called, split the taxes.
Tax rate, or
We don't-
shift it.
Shift it, that's the word I was looking for. We don't have, right now, we don't have a process to shift the taxes from those people who got their senior means tested tax break to the rest of the taxpayers. So the easiest way most straightforward way to do that with our finance system is to just make sure that money's in the overlay and then take it out of the overlay. That way everybody's paying on average for it as well. So.
And we only had 6 applicants, so I mean, it wasn't.
So the
a lot.
implications were only $16,000 or
Yeah.
whatever, so we had plenty of money set aside in our, I'll call it savings account for overlay. So if we assume 20, and we should not note these someplace, or
So,
we're going to assume 20
yep,
uh,
so,
senior means tested,
or
exemptions.
55,000, let's say 55,000 total
that's fine.
for that.
That we will increase, the 175, we probably would have needed to increase anyway because of opening up the limits for the exemptions, and, inflation. So, what you came up with was 55, I'm sorry,
55,000 for 20 applicants.
55, and we had 175, that's 130.
Yep,
And we probably want to show some growth, some inflation on that 130, 230. Right?
yep, and then we gotta figure.
What do you
out-
think inflation's gonna do this year?
Part of me says,
I don't know,
I
yeah.
don't know.
So we have to make a swag. And if I were swagging it, which was only a swag, and somebody could tell me I'm completely wrong, I would think maybe we should think like a 3% inflation. And maybe it's more, maybe it's less, but
People are paying far more for food, gas, and
right.
cars,
So some things have gone way up, some things have not.
oil,
Right.
the heat with
Right.
propane, the heat with electricity, it's gotten very expensive.
Well, that's true too. So you want to make a higher assessment of the, so we're now sitting at 230.
And 6,900 for 3% of that. So if the
230.
wild card is our abatements, we don't,
And we can't know what they're gonna be.
no, so.
But assuming that because we, I think, did a pretty thorough job this year, and almost no one got a large surprise, except those people who had some improvements to their home, and they shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I think there weren't that many huge surprises, so, we're probably gonna get the same, or maybe we get 40, which again is
That'd be typical. We
8 to
37.
10% growth in the number
Yeah.
of abatements. So if we were looking at, is anybody squeamish with 250? I'm not throwing a number out.
No. I might go 260. That's just my, just.
We're looking for your advice because you are the expert.
Just because we don't know, if I add the 3% to that, and that brings us to like 236.9, we have to allow some money for the abatements, so, I mean,
Well, we are. But,
we're not adding that much for abatements, just based on,
okay. So you're recommending 260.
I think we should do.
Are you squeamish with 260?
No.
Neither am I. So, I'll make a motion that we set our target for the overlay at $260,000 for FY '27.
I second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none? All in favor? It's unanimous for both the Bryans. Thank you.
Brian squared.
Well, this is one of those things, we had that, last year, we had a really difficult discussion about how much it should be, and we were all over the map. I mean,
Yeah.
one of our members wanted to make it much, much larger, and I'm like, I don't think we need it, but,
no.
and, we finally settled on a number.
And it really depends on a lot of factors that we just don't really have any estimated knowledge of at the time, so it's gamble.
And you don't wanna put too much into overlay, because you really can't use it for anything else.
No,
Yeah.
who can?
You don't wanna underestimate it by a lot, because
No.
then you've gotta go start tapping other sources of revenue that don't exist.
Correct.
And just looking at what we have so far for exemptions, I think
Well, the exemptions.
75 is
I-
too.
This is the first time I've seen that exemption number, and it just feels like it might be somehow inflated, but I don't know that. And having said that, the only data we have in front of us is this. Last year, when we got the number of how much had been spent from the overlay account, from the finance team, they thought we'd spent $255,000. I was like, I don't think we have. So what we found was, when we actually got the report from the state, it's 135 or 140,000, kind of like we expected. So,
To answer your question, from last year's numbers, we had 127 exemptions,
yep,
and we abated, we granted 128,000 roughly.
so $1,000 first?
Yeah,
Ish.
and then I wanted to note on that column, the far right column,
Yep,
the state reimburses us, this is their max. So as you can see, for.
that reimbursement doesn't come back to us.
Right.
It goes into the general fund,
Right.
so I don't count
doesn't reimburse
that.
our
It's part of
overlay.
the planning for the finance team, but it doesn't count
Yeah, doesn't help us.
for us, right?
Right,
So it's interesting to know,
yeah.
and thank God that, it looks like 60 or 70% of it is refunded.
Yeah.
Great, thanks.
Yeah,
The senior means test will, any of the stuff that we've increased beyond what the state original state recommendation was, we won't get back. So this percentage next year is gonna be less.
yeah.
The percentage is really between how much we spent out of overlay for exemptions and how much we were reimbursed. I don't know what that number is off the top, but
But that just kind of shows you we do have the increase from last year.
Yep.
And that probably has a lot to do with the COLA and some of the other exemptions that we've increased in
so this was our total exemptions.
the last year of what
So
we granted.
129,000.
Yep,
And all we spent,
127.
including all the abatements, was
140. We didn't have much for abatements last year.
what? actually thinking that we may be in the same situation this year, but okay.
Yeah.
But we do have the senior means tested
Yeah.
exemption, so.
So if I
Okay.
take that off of, if I take that amount off of the 160, just see what that is, 166.
Oh, the reimbursement amount?
No, if I take that out of the exemptions, hold on for a second.
It's about 100.
It's 16,380, that was the senior means. I'm just trying to figure
Oh,
out.
from last year, would it
Yeah.
would have been without the senior
Yeah,
means?
of the other exemptions, the increase.
Yep.
I think it
Well, it was
was,
160, so it'd be 144.
yeah, 16,380. So, actually 149,000 based on the 166, 160.
166, and we took, we took 16 off 166.
Yeah, that's what I
understood.
did, I'm taking the
Okay, that's fine.
16,380.
So that's, yeah, 149. Yep.
So 149 is,
What we think we spent
yeah,
for real on exemptions
right, but we still have till April.
to
So
get
we have other people that may come in, so that.
with exemptions, and
149
we still have the abatements to pay for,
Yeah,
whatever abatements there are.
so
Okay,
that has increased, but,
it's an unfortunately large number,
yeah,
and I'm hoping we're proven wrong.
I hope so too. And we've tried to do, I mean, even before the bills went out, we were encouraging people to look at their record card, call us with any questions, to at least try to educate people before, so that we reduce the number of abatements. We try to do that.
Cool. So we landed on 260,
Yep.
and growth, we landed on a 400 again. Yep, perfect.
Okay, I will let Jen know.
Yeah, will you copy me on the note you sent her?
I will.
The whole team could be copied if you want, but it's up to you.
The whole,
Linda could copy all of us as board members. I definitely want to be copied as the chair on the note that goes back to the town manager about our decision on those two items. So, and you don't have to get it if you don't want. It's up to you. It's bits. Sorry.
It's what?
It's bits. There's only some bits out there. You're not
It's
gonna,
a bit.
you're not gonna type it out. It's gonna be in your email. So it's up to you if you want it. It's bits. Oh, there it is.
Did I have you sign these,
So now we can move into that item. This was, well, yeah, this signatures, we should have actually done the signatures earlier. So then you'd have been satisfied.
it's fine. This is just for the tax collector and the accounting officer. They want what we have granted. So we have to provide signatures when we process them in Munis. So this is just a record. And she requested this,
So we have to do
Today, so-
multiple copies.
yep,
So what you have there, I think I have here.
yep, same thing.
So we'll
Yeah.
sign this on today's the 7th, right?
Yeah. This is just for,
7th day.
we need to provide that in case we get for our audit, to show the documentation.
There will be an audit at some
Yeah,
point. There's
there
always
will
an
be.
audit.
Yeah, the state will come after us, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, the way, like I explained to the tax collector, we had to put these in manually. So even though we
So-
received these starting, people apply typically after the fiscal year.
So what's attached to this is all the supporting documentation that gives you that top sheet.
And
So
then the total. So this is the breakdown here of all of these exemptions are all contained in these pages here.
you haven't gone through the exemptions yet, so there's, what, 8 or 10 different exemptions?
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of 22s and
Yeah.
a couple of 17s and 41s and,
Yep, we have 22Ds, which is a full exemption.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into exemptions.
That's okay.
so.
you are qualified to sign this though.
Yeah, sorry, I understand. So there's the
the abatements, yeah.
And these are exemptions that we've reviewed in executive session over the past several months.
They've already been approved, this is just kind of a formality.
It's a summary of the approvals.
Okay. So I should scribble?
So if you could sign, and then I'm gonna have you sign this one, and
In the
just,
second block?
yeah,
You can sign anywhere you want.
yeah. If
Okay.
you wanna sign the second block to be consistent with that copy,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll give that one to Brian, and then you can sign this one as well. Thank you, and then I'll swap you that.
Thank you. Today is the 7th day of...
Oh, I also have the, while we're signing, I also need the warrant signed as well. Thank you. So that one's all set.
And I think that one's all set.
Yep. Okay.
Do we have any other exemptions to sign?
We have them for executive session to review, but nothing to
No,
sign at this
those are
point.
review
Yeah,
and approved.
approved. But I do have
The
the
warrant.
warrants. So, and this is for,
You explain what the warrant is, so
yeah.
that...
So this is for the tax bills that just went out. We have to issue the warrant to the tax collector so she can
Yes.
collect the money.
Yep.
So this is that, and then this is the notice of commitment to the accounting officer. So both of these have the real estate portion, and then we have one for personal property, the same warrant to the tax collector and then
And again, we don't have to vote on it? Your signature is your vote?
No.
the, yeah. Yeah.
Got it.
And in the last meeting, I did provide the documentation for these numbers. And I do have that if you have any questions on
Nope.
that.
So,
So you would just sign?
sign where I am at. There.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's it, but this is executive. Yes, I did actually 3 copies of this, so. This is the same thing, yeah, another copy. So we keep a copy of all these, and then we give a copy again to the tax collector and then the accounting officer. In our office, we have binders that actually have all this.
Yeah, it's paper. We love having paper. It's like an insurance company. Gotta have paper.
We do. Okay, so that one's signed.
You say there was a third copy of this?
Yeah, I have a 3rd copy, yeah.
I've signed 2.
Yeah,
Oh, I
this, one's the personal property, so here's 2 more of the same thing.
I'm signed already on.
Yep, this is just an additional copy. Oh, you signed on that one.
I'm signed.
So that one's all set, oh, this one you didn't sign.
Right.
Okay.
Criteria for clause 18. I actually did go out and find 2 communities that have criteria for clause 18. Clause 18 is completely at the discretion of the assessors. It's an exemption. Mhm. Yep, it's an exemption that is completely at the discretion of the assessors for hardship, especially military or aged. The state didn't define how old. They didn't determine how infirm, and they didn't determine how much of a financial hardship there needed to be. That is completely at the
Those 3 things they didn't do.
They just said, you guys then have this carte blanche for this one, not to be used on a regular basis,
No.
but if there's somebody in a really tough situation. We haven't had any in the last several years, honestly. We've had 1 or 2 that I thought maybe might have qualified, but didn't apply, so.
There were a couple that I knew that could have applied.
Yep. So, what we do have to have though are criteria. What are the criteria that we're using to make our decisions so that we treat our taxpayers equally. We don't have any criteria. I looked around the state for hours. I had done this before and only found one or two. And last night, I spent hours and hours and hours. And I looked through about 120 communities looking for criteria. I found two. Seekonk and Gloucester, both ocean.
Interesting.
I don't know why, but it just happened to be. The Seekonk one is actually fairly well laid out. But they have a maximum amount of their clause 18 of $900, which if you're worried about losing your home or not being able to pay your taxes, $900 ain't gonna help you in Seekonk. But what do I know? But they do have whole assets excluding the domicile of like $40,000 for single, $50,000 for married. Gross incomes between $20,000 if single or $30,000 if married, so they're very,
Very low.
it's hard to beat that, not beat that.
Yeah, it's
So
hard to
I'll
get
leave this
to.
one with you. This is Seekonk. This one is Gloucester, and theirs is a little more, it's just a little chart here. And their maximum allowable assets were $30,000 outside of the domicile. And the maximum allowable income was $13,000. So they both have very low limits to qualify for to be clause 18 eligible. No, I can say it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we want to be quite that low, but it should be fairly low because this is going to be something that only occurs when somebody's in a severe hardship. And usually, many of the notes that I saw from most communities said this would only be used for 1 year.
One time.
So it's a one-time, get somebody through a hardship period of some kind. So it would have to be a real hardship, it'd have to be really short-term. There is also an 18A
Yeah.
that is a deferral, which again, you'd have to be in somewhat of a hardship, but you could defer your taxes. It's not the 41A deferral, but it's similar to that.
Yeah.
But the 18, these were the only two that I found that actually had data, criteria. People do grant them. Boards of assessors do grant them, but they don't. They have to ask for income information. What is your infirmity or what difficulty you're having, so they and what's your age. So they ask all those questions, but then I don't know how they decide that, yeah, this one's okay and that one's not. I don't know. I'm sick of looking at it. Honestly.
Do you think it would be like a situational?
It is. It's going
I
to
mean,
be
it's like if
mostly
somebody came,
situational.
we would make a decision based on our own judgment without having
Well,
the criteria, maybe?
the state encourages us to put together criteria, but as I said,
Yeah,
out of the 100 and something that out there, I think it was about 120, there were two.
yeah,
Nobody else has criteria.
yeah.
So maybe we leave it without criteria, we wait for an application to come in. Clearly, these are dire straits numbers. $20,000 of income, $13,000 of income. Somebody's in pretty dire straits, so, yeah.
So that doesn't include social security.
Well, somebody might not be collecting social security, they didn't work a job. Their job was
Yeah,
not
there are some
one where
jobs out there that,
that don't pay into
You don't
social
pay.
security, don't pay into FICA. There are some jobs in there where, you didn't work long enough and then something happened to you and you have an infirmity that you can't work and, there may be some people out there who are not collecting very much money at all and still own a home. So they're liable for their taxes and we could give them a potential one-time break with a clause 18.
so they have to have a home.
They have to have a home, yep. Yeah, You can't give people a tax break on their property if they don't have property.
They're not gonna give the tax break on their car.
Right. Right. They're not getting a tax break on their car because they still have to pay their excise taxes.
Yeah.
So, that's what I found.
Mhm.
I don't know if there's anything else out there. Put that in a folder someplace and we can decide next time with Sarah if we want to put together something that is so desperately low
Yeah,
or something else, or just leave it to discretion of the board. I hate being in a situation where I have to make a decision without any data.
yeah.
Mhm.
But in some cases, maybe you just wait and see what the data is that comes in, and then you make a decision based on that.
Mhm.
So we could talk about that again at the next meeting, I think, and come to some kind of conclusion. I don't know if you want to share that with the rest of the team, because Sarah won't have seen this.
Yeah,
But, and maybe I misread some of it. If you would reread it, make sure that I'm not just,
yeah.
because it was 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when I found one of those.
I had a hard time finding information from what I was told from a couple of assessors is, it's not really,
When you go to your assessor conferences,
Yeah.
somebody out there has them.
yeah. A
But I
lot
don't
of
know
them
who,
don't,
but they
it's
don't-
just
no
kind of
criteria.
a situational type thing,
Yep.
and the board will vote and determine based on
Yep.
the situation.
Yep.
I emailed you my budget, and I'm going a little off topic. It was kind of late in the day, so I have copies of that. And I don't know if you want to go through that or wait for Sarah, we can do that. I copied all 3 of you on it.
If you want to, give us the highlights and then give us a copy, I think
Yep.
we'll go from there. So, we do all this budgeting for the town budget, we have to figure out how much the new growth is gonna be, et cetera, but then there's also, we gotta run the office and how we
Yeah.
do that.
So I'll kind of summarize it. So this is just kind of a chart. We have a meeting on Monday night
We,
for the various town hall departments, and we will be reviewing
meeting with whom?
town manager, I believe it's the finance committee.
Oh, okay.
It's called tri-board, so we will be.
Oh, okay,
We
that's
will
fine,
be,
I just didn't know who you were,
yeah,
we was.
7 o'clock on Monday, so if,
You get to work overtime.
yeah, yep. So she had asked that we prepare this, and
She
then we'll
being
be-
town manager.
Yes, sorry.
You use a lot of pronouns, and I just stopped, gotta break your pronouns, because I don't know who you're talking about.
Break me of that habit. But she had wanted us to, each department to put together their budget, and this actually has the fiscal '24, what the actual was, '25, '26 budget, and then what I'm estimating for '27. And then I actually, the other 2 pages were the account description for the past, the allocation for '26 and what's requested for '27, so you can see the change. So just based on the changes from fiscal '26, actually, our measure and list went down 11%. We're trying to do more
In-house.
in-house.
Well,
And that,
the whole point of that was we hired a data collector, so we don't have to pay somebody else to go collect that data.
yeah,
So our measure and list goes down, but the salaries go up.
yeah,
But we have more control
we do.
about what they do.
Mhm.
Our contract services, inflation is part of the increase, and then we're adding Brandy Mercier to our budget, which wasn't added in the past.
I'm glad you held firm on that one.
Yeah.
Randy's been invaluable as a
Oh.
munis contractor because he gets it.
Yeah,
And even though munis isn't our bailiwick, the confluence of Kim and finance systems is where he's really strong.
yeah.
So he's been very invaluable.
And we had problems with the tax billing, and with, like I mentioned, the bridge, if we didn't have him, I mean, you take the chance with the bills. I know one of the years, the first year I started, it was an absolute nightmare. And-
That's okay, we didn't send the bills out till April 1st because we
Right.
knew we couldn't make it for
Yeah.
January
And that's
1st.
that's the danger, and I do know that a lot of towns had difficulty with munis this year.
by the way, by law, we have to do it by January 1st. We had to get
Oh.
a formal waiver from the state to go out to April, that 1 year.
Wow.
That was the year with the abatement fiasco.
Yeah.
And that was the year that I got mine with the 2 quarters on one sheet of paper that I didn't realize. I
You
only
aren't
paid
the only
one.
one. A whole bunch of people did that. Some people wound up in a
And I-
situation where they were shocked when their escrow was redone the
Yes.
next year.
I mean, I got this notice that said, hey, you owe us. And it's like, what? I paid it all.
Yep. Well, how'd you
But
like,
I-
how'd you like to have had
I didn't
those?
realize that those darn, payment requests had 2 quarters on that one sheet.
And how would you like to have had that and have your tax bill go up by 30% per quarter
Yeah.
or 40% per quarter? We had several people that were in situations where it was 40, 50% increases in their taxes. And they had to pay twice. And they had like 30 days to pay it. Where are you gonna get that money?
Yeah.
It was a,
Yeah.
I keep using the word fiasco because there were so many things that were broken about that.
It was a crisis. I refer to it as a crisis because I
That
came
was
to
a
the end of it.
crisis.
Yep.
Yes, it
And,
was a crisis.
We've cleaned up a lot from that. We still continue to do that, but, so as far as our contracted services, there's been some inflation. We've added Randy Mercia. We have Vision. I kept money in there for the contract because we do contract support in case we have some not ATV, but some
Well, there-
abatements that may need some expertise of another consultant or
Yep.
another assessor that has
Right.
commercial. So I
It's
like to.
Vision Appraisal Services, right? Is that what it's called?
Vision appraisal.
Yeah. So-
And also Rena had, in the past, had provided a lot more support. That number has actually gone down as far as contract, but
Yep.
again, like, we're trying to get commercial experience, because we have some commercial properties, but Denise and I both have residential appraisal licenses, so our expertise isn't in commercial, but
Right.
we are attempting to, like, we've been out to Keating and some other properties, and we go car dealership and
Recognize that 91% of our properties are residential anyway, so we have the expertise to cover that. It's just when there's something else comes up, we need to establish that expertise in-house.
yeah.
So, forgive me, I have one question, because when I was going through these tests here, back in one of the earlier ones here, it said that houses had to be reviewed and appraised, every single one of them in the town, every 10 years.
Correct.
That's correct.
It has never happened to me in
Well-
the 30 years I've been in Lunenburg.
There's a distinct possibility that
Sure.
somebody drove up your driveway, took a quick picture and drove away. Never told you.
But that does not include what it said
I-
in here.
We're
It
supposed
said
to.
you have to go in the house and evaluate how the house might have been improved.
Where a homeowner allows you in the house, because they can tell you that you can't come in. They have a right to privacy. So assessors are walking a fine line in that they're trying to get as much information about the property as possible without being a burden upon the property owner. Having said that, there are many cases when people will say, sure, come on in. There are other cases when they say no. We've had people that come forward with an abatement request and then not let us in the house. So guess what? We get to assume whatever we want to assume about the house. So if you don't want us in your house, don't file for an abatement.
Okay.
But
What's the addition of metal roofs? Is that an incredible increase in the value of a property? Because a roof lasts nearly 100 years,
Yeah.
as
But-
opposed to something that's now only lasting 8 to 10?
We have costs in our canvas system that differentiate between all the differences.
Mhm.
But I will say, we try to use MLS and whatever information we can get. If we can't get into the house, we try to get photos from the MLS, and that helps us to make
It's-
sure our property
it's-
record card is
It's
correct.
easier when there's been a sale. Way easier when there's been a sale.
We do inspect sales also. That's another
Right.
program that the
Yeah.
DOR, they want us to review our sales. So we do have a program where we do send out a postcard and we follow up with an inspection. So, and I will say that in some cases, with the last functional and economic, we had all of these adjustments in our camera system. We went through and inspected, I think there was 123.
So there were adjustments, in some cases, reducing values of the homes for either functional or economic impact. And in many cases, they were not noted. We had no documentation about why. And when was it put in there? We don't know. What was it put in there for? Who decided to put it in there? We can't know. So what the team did was went back through all of them, basically, well, most of them, and basically said, this one is for this reason, this one we don't know, and reach out to the homeowners and say, property owners, because it wasn't just residential, and say, what is this one for? And if they would help us understand it, then great. If they didn't help us understand it, then we can't give you that adjustment anymore, so.
Yeah, we notify them. But I will say, on some of the inspections, it actually was great that we went out and inspected it, because in some instances, the property record card either had error or it wasn't accurate, and there were other things that we picked up on, and that factor didn't really impact them because we did the inspection. So it's always good to do inspections, because our goal is to verify that that data on that record card is correct. And that's the whole purpose of the cyclical inspections, is to verify that.
So it appears that you are requesting a budget increase of about 6%-ish?
Yeah, almost
Is it on there?
7%. Yeah,
Oh, there it is.
down the
Budget
bottom.
increase,
Those are just
6.98%?
Yeah, that doesn't
So that's
include,
7%.
that doesn't include the salaries, so that's on the first page. This
Yeah, I
this
was
is
looking-
just, this is
I was
just
looking at the sum total. We would go from 298 to
Yeah.
314.
Yeah, I did a breakdown of the services and supplies separate, so that you can kind of see the differences in that. The salaries, we took out the COLA, and it's got the request for 2027. So I just wanted to give you an update. I will mention,
We ran out of stamps this year, right?
we did. We are
Okay.
we are not putting postage out of our budget. It's actually it's one account now. So I did give Jen an estimate, because we use quite a bit of postage.
Yes.
We have postcards that we send out. We try to save money by sending out postcards instead of letters, because it's a savings there. But we mail out our forms of lists. We mail out our
Forms
exemption.
of list, are you familiar with that one? Have you hit that one yet?
No.
Forms of list, okay.
That's to all the businesses.
Every business has to give us an idea of what kind of what kind of,
Inventory they have.
but it's not inventory for sale. It's, do you have a computer, do you have a desk, do you have a
It's
whatever?
personal property.
It's called,
Yeah.
it's called personal property, and I had to try to explain this to somebody. I need to talk to you about somebody, actually. I had to talk to somebody, explain this to somebody, a business owner. He said, if it's my business, why do I have to get personal property? And I said, it's called personal property, but it's not really personal property, it's business property.
It's business property.
It should be called business property, but it's always been called personal property. Somebody somewhere made my opinion, a little boo-boo. But anyway, so the forms of list is basically a listing of your business property. Is that fair?
That's fair. And they have a.
Tell me when I misexplain things, okay?
Yes, you does a great job of
No, you did a
explaining. And they do have a $2,500 exemption on that.
So if you just have a small home office, it's not gonna,
Yeah, you won't get it.
you're not gonna blow by that.
$2,500 each. Back in the day, that would not have been my computer.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. But today,
Mine would have been a lot more.
yep. Yep. So the overall, including salaries, you don't have a number here, but it looks like it's about a little over 5% per year. Yeah, 5%.
So our biggest increase is.
You do know there's a Prop 2.5.
Yeah. It's Prop 2.5.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Well, our mileage actually has gone up because we have more inspections now due to some of these projects that we have.
If you're gonna have a data collector, you need that data collector to be able to go out and collect data.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Shocking.
so that number last year was estimated at 900, and the problem is we've had, you know, a lot of extra inspections. And then if we bring the cyclicals in, which we plan to do, we inspected the condos. So we're trying to do that. We have one more year with vision, and then we want to bring our cyclicals in-house.
Right.
That's the
We
goal.
had a multi-year deal with Vision to do some of the appraisals, which I think bringing it in-house makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. And then the dues and membership, we have dues to the Massachusetts Assessors Association. The IAAO is the International Assessors, and they offer classes, continuing education. I need to go to the classes for my MAA certification. And I've been trying to get Denise to do some of them as well, so that we find them very helpful. We get a lot of information from the classes, which help us in our daily work.
Rubbing shoulders with your colleagues is
Oh, it's
a way to
amazing.
impart a hell of a lot of information.
Yeah, so we have a.
You have a Vision subscription down here, but I don't see any other subscriptions. Don't we have other subscriptions?
I have MLS, which I have incorporated in office supplies. I
Okay.
don't have that under dues. I have that under, actually, I'll have to check that. We might have that under dues. So that's 4 quarters
Mhm.
a year. It's $105 for the MLS.
Mhm.
And we use that to review sales and
Confirm. Yep.
confirm data. The mapping, I did want to mention that. I did find out from Data Scout, there is an option where we can take that out in the field and we can update it instantaneous.
So, and that was what we talked about before, but I'm having a little squeamish about that. I don't want to be able to update it immediately. I want to put it into a buffer someplace so we can check it before we push the button to send it into the live data. Do you understand why?
When you're out in the field?
Yeah, because I don't want somebody out in the field
Oh,
push the button and going,
yeah.
oh, shoot.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I'm kind of old-fashioned. I use pencil and paper.
But I would really like to be able to update things automatically or on the computer,
Yeah,
but I want to put it into a buffer someplace so that we can then go back and decide if we actually want to let the data change that way.
yeah,
I'm a little concerned about changing live data from a tablet out in the field.
yeah. I agree with you. And that may be a great tool where we have questions. So right now, we bring the record card out with us.
Yep.
But if we needed to reference the map, we could, because that's going to be something when we do the neighborhoods.
The
We're gonna
more
need-
data you have when you're out there, the
Yeah.
better.
Yeah,
The more data you can sort of modify, the better. But as I said, I really want it to be buffered. I don't have
Yeah.
direct access to the live database.
no, that's something.
So
most-
we would need to talk about that with whomever we wind up
Yeah.
using.
I would like to schedule a presentation when it's convenient, if you
Oh.
wanted to see a presentation of this. It's called Data Scout, and it's compatible with Vision. So it would take, it plots sales, so for us, it's a great tool because we can see that data on the map when we go out. It will help us in our neighborhood analysis.
It's a front end to the GIS
Yeah.
that everybody uses.
Probably the most important part of it is it will provide a property record card. Instead of having it generate a PDF once a year, it'll update instantaneous, so.
Right.
I think that will be good, because right now we've got a different value. We've got the assessed value for
So if you,
GIS, and we've got the PDF version for Vision.
if you print off your vision card today for 26, for now, and you print it off 7 or 8, 9 months from now, it's gonna be the same. Even if you've made some changes. So it's not current. It doesn't, so this would give us the capability of creating a current.
I do have to generate the extract, which will generate the PDF, but we're adding some more parcels, so I don't want to do that because it'll be a whole year before they're updated, so I'm gonna try to get that done in the next week.
Oh,
We will have that updated PDF.
so I lied. If you print off your vision card today, it'll be different about 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
And then it'll stay the same for almost a year. So, yeah, I forgot that you were doing some of that stuff. Thank you.
I figured I'd mention that just so we don't confuse people.
No. So, I don't know if any other department heads are looking at a 5 to 6% increase, but probably all of them are.
The problem is a lot of the vendor costs are going up as well.
Well, and those are
Yeah.
not fixed, but they are something you can't change.
Yeah.
You have no way to save on it. Oh, that's not it, okay. Okay. Cool, thank you for the budget, and we'll probably have another discussion when Sarah's here, but
Yeah.
maybe a little more depth or not, I don't know. We'll see.
Sorry I got off topic, but I figured I would mention that. That was something that I just kind of put together.
Well, and land condition factors, we've already sort of talked about that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's something more you want to cover?
I can give you a little more detail. So we found 358 land condition factors, and what that means is if you look at the record card or under where it has a person's site area, then you get a factor, and some of them, they'll have like a note. One of them we had some WF, whatever that means, and then you get 10%. Some people get 20. The DOR doesn't want us to have all of these adjustments. They're not warranted. And some of them don't even have notes. So of those 358, 289 are residential and 69 are commercial. So we have to go through all these, verify them, see if they're warranted, send out a letter to the homeowner. The business ones,
That actually means that the commercial and industrial is a higher percentage of those, because 91% of our parcels are residences, and way less than 91% are those. That's interesting.
yeah.
So there seems to be a propensity in the commercial and industrial to use those.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. So what we've been trying to do with, when we found these, like last year, we had the functional and economic obsolescence. Sometimes with the economic, it could be like if you're next to, train, something on the exterior that would have an effect on property and influence, a negative influence. If it was functional, it could be something inside the house, whether it, some people can be a bedroom you may have to enter into. You may have 2 bedrooms. Instead of having a separate entrance, you may have to enter one to go into another. That's just kind of an example. Or if there's an issue with like one person, they had no plumbing. There was an issue like that. So this, these are related to the land, these factors that we found.
Okay.
So we have
So in
tried.
some cases there's slope, and that's realistic, but whatever, sorry.
No, it's fine. You read a lot of good points. The biggest thing that we want is to be consistent. We need to be consistent with all of these. So last year when we started identifying some of these factors, we started some of it, like one property was near the railroad tracks, so they have an influence. So as we go through these, we're gonna have a list of things that, whether we do 10% for, you know, whatever slope or, because we want to be consistent. So this is another batch of 358 that have been on these properties. I can't tell, it might have been prior to the conversion of the data when they converted from the old camera to vision. And some of these are large discounts that people are getting, and it, you know,
We don't know why.
we don't know. And some of them don't have comments, so we have to research them. So our plan, again, is to send out a letter. We're, at this point, identifying them. We're actually gonna sort them also by site index also, because the ones are 1A, 1B, our site indexes are on the water. So we're gonna try to do all this, if we can, group it, and try to identify the ones that we can just take care of first. And
Yeah.
the more complex ones that are related to our neighborhood review, we may want to incorporate some of these in that as well, but it will be a project that we've got to do inspections for. So we will, again, notify people by the mail, telling them that they have this discount, requesting an inspection, and again, we'll do the same thing we did with the functional and economic.
And if we can't
assessments.
do the inspection, if you won't allow us to come do the inspection, we're just gonna remove the adjustment, which means your value will go up, because we don't know any better.
Yeah. And once we, as we continue with this, I'll be discussing it in our meetings and giving you an update on what our findings are. So that's just kind of a summary, but again, the biggest thing is just to be consistent, and again, the DOR, and if we're gonna have these kind of adjustments, they have to be warranted. And I don't know who put them on or how long ago, and it's difficult for us because we try to go by notes, and we're looking at the maps, so it's gonna be,
You want to add another one?
what's that?
People's houses that have driveways that exceed the limited elevation that the town has set. And they've been there for a very long time. I have several neighbors, one of which they had a medical emergency and no medical equipment could be brought up to the house in the wintertime. There was just no way to get up that driveway, period. Another one, and it's a big, wealthy, beautiful house, but it's like a quarter-mile long driveway
Yep.
up the hill. And an oil delivery truck came and slid off and rolled over and dumped oil.
Yep.
Oh,
It was really disgustingly ugly. And these people have to pay huge sums to keep the driveways going. And why the town ever let them build,
yeah.
I do not understand.
So there's a move afoot to put less restrictions on your property, but in some cases like that, you really have to have restrictions on the property so that building doesn't occur. If it occurs, it has enough switchbacks so that it's not that steep. And
Right, but what do we do with the homes that already exist and
Right.
the fortunate people, the
So-
elderly people who are living there?
those are the ones where we would give a slope,
Yeah.
give you a slope factor. So the state had told us, you need to get rid of some of those factors. No, we're not gonna get rid of factors, but we're gonna certainly tighten up the ship. And use the factors as they're supposed to be used, not willy-nilly.
Yeah.
So I've been pushing back with Becky and some of the other folks from the state is like, we're gonna use them. And Rena says sometimes, well, we're not supposed to use factors. I go, yeah, but we're gonna.
Sometimes you need to.
Yep.
I mean, not every property is the same. There are certain, if your property is right beside the railroad tracks and you're hearing trains,
Well,
It was
That-
constantly, yes.
that's a negative.
it was there when you bought it. It's not like you're surprised, but
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to pay through the nose for taxes for something that's,
And the same is true of the driveways that are
Correct.
super steep.
Correct.
My neighbor, literally my neighbor, I never knew they were ever gonna build anything because literally that lot was next to me. And it looked like you needed a chairlift to get up there, it was so steep. And I thought, nobody's ever gonna buy that to build anything on it. And I was thinking about buying it, it was on offer for $15,000 at the time.
Yes.
Well, somebody bought it for $15,000, planned on how to build a house on it, got approved by the town, and then sold that to a builder for $25,000 and grabbed a quick 10.
Yep.
And then now they had that medical issue in the middle of winter, which was rather ugly.
Yeah. Anyway,
Sorry.
so, oh no, I mean, honestly, we do hear lots of those stories because, you know, well, my property has this. Well, you're right, that's a problem. That's gonna be a problem. So we ought to note it, make a factor, put a factor on it and move on. We can't fix it for you,
Yeah.
Can't fix it.
but, you know, we can certainly take it into account
Take it
and
into
as we
account.
value the property because if somebody puts up $1 million house on top of a hill they can't get to, it's like, well, what do you think of that? It's still $1 million house. Sorry.
That becomes an abandoned mansion.
So anyway, good, thank you. Postpone topics, the policies binder, at some point we'll bring that in again
Yeah,
for us.
I'll bring it in again. Yeah.
And we're adding things to it
We're
as we go.
adding chapter land.
So, just this last year, I guess, a policies binder was created. It's all hard copy, it's about that thick, of all of our policies on various subjects. We use it as the basis of a city that has not got any farmland. So there's not a mention of chapter land, not a mention. So we had to write our own chapter, and then went through and modified, the team went through and modified some of the other stuff so that it fit our community better. So I think it's good to have that stuff documented. If you don't have a policy, you know, it's tough to make a decision on stuff.
We also, and I know we mentioned this in the last meeting, we also have all of our procedures in our OneDrive so that we have instructions on how to.
Yeah, you were gonna tell us how to get to that.
Well, you'd have to come in the office, we'd have to get on our OneDrive to do that, so that's something that, I mean, it's like instructions on how to put in a deed, do an abatement.
Oh, cause,
Into, you know, office type things that we have as well. So we've kind of automated that.
oh, cause I thought you were gonna give us access to it on OneDrive somehow.
I
I
don't know
don't know how you do that.
I don't know how.
Well, we probably should have access to OneDrive because we have .gov emails.
I just don't know. I'd have to check with Mason.
Yeah, check,
Yeah.
when you
I'm
get a
not sure.
chance.
But I mean, you can come into our office and if you have any
Well,
questions, it's just.
Some of
it's
us
just
work, and then
some
there's
of
the
our-
rest of us.
But,
Some of us are on puzzle,
yeah.
shovel driveway.
Well, yours that. Okay,
So,
cool. Thank you. Mapping software, we talked about
We
mapping
talked about that.
software,
I
and
kept
criteria's on
criteria.
there twice.
Yeah, I put that in, I know it's a future thing, so we're gonna revisit that.
Now I gave it to you, so I'm
Yeah.
I'm taking it off this list.
Now we're, well, I'll keep it as a few, well, we should probably add it to the next with Sarah. I didn't put in a January meeting because I think at this point.
We had difficulty finding a time when we could all meet.
Yeah, and I didn't put it because I think it's gonna, until we get our abatements,
Right.
which will be the end of the month, I don't really know if there's a need to meet.
Can you do us a favor?
Yeah,
Tell me if this is too much, because it might be.
yeah,
But every Monday morning, could you just send us a total of how many abatement requests we have?
sure, yep. I would be happy to do that.
From the prior week,
Yeah,
or in total,
yep,
either way.
yep, the
We
deadline
got this many
is,
this week, so, yeah, February 1st.
February 2nd is the deadline for abatements.
Okay, yes, because of
So, because of the weekend.
Weekend, yeah.
So, every Monday, yeah, I would be happy to do that.
That way we know what's going on, and if we start to see an inordinate amount, it's like, that would be concerning.
Yeah.
So we could go back to Jen and say, oh, you know what, number we gave you, it's gotta be bigger.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. I know we're only 7 days into the month, but
And with 3 work days, you've got 3.
we've had 3.
So that says that you should get 20, because it's gonna be 20 work days, right?
Maybe, I mean, someone came in yesterday and asked for an
I made it
application. But, I mean, we're not seeing a lot of,
We didn't have the whole town blow up and
Yeah.
the phones going crazy and.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's because we did a lot of the analysis that we could do,
Yep,
so,
yep, cool,
yeah.
thank you. Anything else so next meeting is scheduled for February 4th,
Is that okay?
as far as I know.
Okay.
February 4th.
February 4th, I believe,
Okay.
is.
I may be traveling the end of February or into March, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
we
I just put those
finalize it
dates
then.
in.
That's fine.
If we need to change them, that's fine.
February 4th is fine with me.
And if we have March 4th, shoot. Okay, go ahead. If we have March 4th, we probably ought to have March 25th or
Okay.
something.
Okay.
March something, another one
third
in
week.
March,
Okay.
even though I might not be there. There it is. Before we get too far off. I got a message from Melissa that the annual
Oh,
town report
yes.
for fiscal year 2025, because you're reporting on the past,
Yeah.
is due, it's due on February 19th. So I was going to suggest that I will try to draft something up for the next meeting of February 4th. And we can review it then and make any adjustments that you guys want to make, or that I'll look at and go, I said that. And it's basically a recap of 2025, fiscal 2025, which we had a lot going on then.
We did.
But it wasn't a million abatements, so we don't have to talk about that anymore.
And I think I can send you what I had submitted for last year, also, if you want,
For the town,
for the annual report
for 24?
for 24.
Yeah,
Because I think we worked on that
we worked on,
together.
yep.
So I can.
I probably have a copy of it, but send me whatever was finally submitted. So that'll be good, that'll be helpful. That was it.
I have a BOA meeting set for the 25th of February.
Yes,
Oh, yep.
Okay.
the
So,
4th and the 25th,
The
and the
4th.
4th of March, right now.
and the 4th, don't have the 4th of March on here, so.
Right. And very tentatively, March, either the 25th or the 18th, I don't know.
And we can kind of see how it goes. I mean, if we don't have that many abatements,
Right.
we'll see.
Are you thinking about when you're gonna schedule the presentation of the senior center yet?
I probably could do that. We did it we've been doing it in the summertime.
Well, last year we did one in late January, early February, and then we did one on just the senior means tested exemption in July, late July, early August.
Yeah,
But we probably wanna
maybe the spring.
do another one in the spring, and I don't know if we need to do anything about the abatements, because I don't think anybody's all up in arms about abatements.
Yeah,
As far as the senior means stuff, that will still be due the first week in September,
yeah.
so we should give people plenty of time to prepare, get their head around what's needed, and ask whatever questions they need to ask, and then get their applications in. I'm hoping we are wrong, that we actually get more than we thought.
Yeah,
But I don't think we will. I really think we're gonna be 20, 25,
yeah. No,
18.
I agree.
Cool. Anything else we need to cover?
I think that's it.
We do have some executive session stuff to cover.
We do.
Okay, I didn't see anybody in the public ever on the Zoom thing, so I'll assume there's still no public. Any further board conversation? Nothing? Then I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Let me read the whole darn thing. I move that we adjourn the open meeting and enter executive session, not to return to open session after exiting the executive session. The motion to enter executive session is under purpose 7, to comply with or act under any authority of any general or special law or federal grant in aid requirements. This executive session, the application is to review applications for abatements or exemptions under this chapter that shall, except in proceedings before the county commissioners, the appellate tax board, or the court of the Commonwealth, be open only to the inspection of the assessors, the commissioner, deputies, clerks, and assistants of either the assessors or the commissioner, and such other officials as designated private auditors of the Commonwealth under Chapter 59, Section 60 of Mass General Law. So that was a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. We can wrap it up. I'm gonna stop recording. Thank you very much.